Hello, friends. It's me again. And it's time for some more stories. This time we head over to r/Tales of Neckbeards. I don't usually read a lot from these subreddits. I try to sometimes, but a lot of times it's like some of the stories are really obviously fake and some of them are just a little weird or too short, which is why I like it whenever you guys send me stuff directly to my subreddit, but sometimes we branch out just to see what's out there. And this is one of those times. This is from Reddit user Gatba. This is, I am highly concerned. I don't even know what to say with this title, so let's see what's going on in this one, huh, kids? Just gonna start off by saying this post will be about a friend of mine. As much as I don't want to call him a neckbeard, I don't know where else to post this. I'm deeply concerned, and I feel like this might be a good place to vent. I first met him almost 2 years ago. We started talking, we found common interests. Furries. Now, I was pretty much on my way out. He was, and is, rather stuck in the fandom. This has suddenly become incredibly relevant to me. I'm very interested. Please continue. Whilst he enjoys My Little Pony, I only ever enjoyed reading furry comics occasionally. Pretty early on, we agreed to be friends, which he seemed thrilled at. A lot of my friends distanced themselves from him, as they found him really annoying. I wanted to help him out, or at least be one of his only friends, but there was already a serious problem. Yeah, he smelled awful. Oh no. Oh, that's a bad. I'm extremely sensitive to smells, and his would make me physically ill. I'd have to sit far away from him to have a normal conversation. I would have to constantly remind him to carry out personal hygiene. He wouldn't shower or brush his teeth properly, and it took a lot of convincing to get him to do it. You guys already know this, I am severely triggered by terrible personal hygiene, and this is setting me off. Okay, this is setting me off. Yeah, just In the end, it took him almost half a year. He started using a toothbrush, showering regularly, using deodorant, and it made so much more of a difference. And I'm also a non-professional paleontologist, and I started doing work again in the formation present at school. He took an interest in what I was doing and started helping me. Now, these aren't dinosaurs or shark teeth, but Ice Age shells. I would encourage him to help with anything regarding this, as these fossils are rather unknown, and species with potential scientific importance are being destroyed. When COVID hit, I went through a dark time, and I left off being separated from a lot of friends. I ended up turning to paleontology a lot more than normal. We didn't meet over the summer, but we kept loose connections throughout. That brings me to this school year. When he came back, he struck me as different. He was hung up on thinking he was really smart to an unhealthy degree. He would be more disruptive in class, as though if what he had to say took priority over everybody else. He would get into arguments with teachers over the answers he got wrong. About a month or two ago, this attitude intensified. He would start correcting my advice, even if he knew nothing about what I was talking about. If someone asked me a question on a fossil or a plant, sometimes he'll interrupt to give mostly inaccurate explanations. This has caused me to get angry with him sometimes, even if I don't want to be. Recently, the school was doing a walk, and he only lasted about a mile or two. He's been overweight and in poor health since I met him. The walk caused him to be in physical pain. I started taking his health a lot more seriously. I had a conversation with him and told him how concerned I was for him. I offered a fossil hunt. His fossil collection doesn't include a lot of the species, which are easy to get in some locations. I haven't been able to get him out of the house to do anything, and his condition seems to be worsening. I would appreciate some help. This, as well as another situation, is really starting to tax my mental health. I want to see him in a better state. Edit. He's actually making an effort to improve. We're talking today, and he's actually trying to get out of the house. Unfortunately, he can't drive, and that being a setback, he's actually making an effort himself. before I go into like my own thing, I just want to point out here, this Reddit user actually says something that I was going to say. Reddit user Jezer93 actually said, "While your intentions are good, it's nice to help a friend. Just remember, he is not your responsibility, and to take time to focus on yourself and your needs as well." That is absolutely fantastic advice, and honestly, very close to something I was going to say. I understand you're very concerned for this person, but always remember that you can't fully focus every ounce of your being on another person. That's unhealthy. You're going to end up doing a disservice and hurting yourself in the process of trying to help someone else. So try not to stretch yourself too thin. However, with all that being said, you actually are doing a really nice thing, and I honestly applaud you with that. This guy does sound like he's definitely falling into some of those kind of neckbeard traits, and having a little bit of a background into the whole furry thing myself, I can kind of possibly help explain a lot of it. It's not necessarily just the whole furry thing that does this, but it's a combination of things. There's definitely people inside the fandom who have an incredibly high opinion of themselves and think that anyone who disagrees with them is somehow like this horrible monster or just some idiot and they don't know what they're talking about. We've covered people like that before on this channel. But what it sounds like to me is that he's definitely going through a lot of different priority shifts. From the way that you describe this story, you sound pretty young. I'm going to assume like high school. And hopefully this is the kind of thing that he'll grow out of. I know that I grew out of a lot of stuff when I was younger. I used to hang around a lot of neckbeards, almost fell into that hole myself. But, you know, I found different interests, and that kind of pushed me into a different direction. And growing up has helped a lot with that, too. You would be surprised how much it changes by just getting older. It's really interesting. Yeah, a lot of this does sound like he's just trying to find his own place to fit in. A lot of pushback from different places, a lot of different things. I can understand right now maybe trying to change interests, what with everything that kind of went on with the whole furry thing in the last couple of years. It wasn't pretty. So I can understand trying to like shift focus, but this incredibly high opinion of the self going on about like, oh, I'm so much smarter than everybody, I know so much more, that's not a place you want to be. And I, for one, applaud you for trying to help him get out of that mentality, because nobody likes that guy. Nobody likes the fucking know-it-all. So yeah, I feel that. I totally feel that. But again, it sounds like you guys are pretty young, and it sounds like you're hopefully, getting out of that. Your concern for this guy, like how much you want to help with his health and his mental state and all these other things, is honestly really touching. That's really sweet that you want to help somebody that much, and you sound like a really amazing person. I don't know if that got mentioned anywhere in the comments. I literally just read this whole story, but yeah, that sounds incredibly nice. You're a very nice person, and I kind of applaud that. But I do, like a lot of the people in the comments, I just kind of flip through so I could look at them, repeat that warning. Don't let it take over your life. Because when someone gets that dependent on you, they sometimes don't start doing for themselves, and you don't want that. You want this person to learn how to do the things they need to do for themselves. And yeah, it's hard. I mean, it is. You want to help people. It's a lot of people, it's just in your nature to want to do the right thing and help people and to make things better. But you can get overtaxed with that. You can end up doing it too much to the point that, like, you're not taking care of yourself. I've been through that a few times too. I get really worried about people. It's a thing. But yeah, I think your friend socializing and going out with you and other people and doing stuff will probably help a lot. A lot of what breeds neckbeard behavior, I've found, is isolation and echo chambers. If they spend a huge amount of time by themselves or just on the internet, or sometimes even with other people, but all they do is repeat the same things, the same horrible points, the same negative things back and forth, without ever challenging each other's views, without ever creating an environment by which they have to talk to each other on a more, nuanced way, like a bunch of different topics rather than just the same things over and over, then yeah, they tend to devolve into this kind of neckbeard mentality because, they have it in their head that they're always right, they know everything, and therefore they must be the smartest person in the world. And that's just kind of not how reality works. Nah. But that is the end of this video, my friends. So thank you all so very much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, because this is definitely an interesting one. I like the ones where we get to kind of like analyze stuff and talk about it. That's pretty cool. If you enjoy this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. I have a Ko-Fi and a merch store if you'd like to contribute to this channel so I can keep doing things like this. And if you'd like to send me a story, you can send it to my subreddit, r/MoonhorseStories. And every Saturday there's a live stream, so if you want to do this but live and watch weird things while I talk about nonsense, that's totally an option too. So, I'll see you all in another video. I love you all so very much. Goodbye, everybody.